So, welcome again to this particular lesson. Today we are going to cover rhythm in poetry, and I believe we are going to really add onto our knowledge. Or, as I always say, it's always a time to refine the knowledge that you have so that you don't forget. So, welcome to today's lesson. First of all, before we go to the next thing, kindly subscribe, share, tell your friends about this great learning class here so that we may learn together as well. So guys, welcome to today's lesson, and today we are going to cover rhythm in poetry, and that's what we're just gonna do. So take your books, pens, and be ready to add onto your knowledge. So today, dealing with rhythm in poetry, first of all, we need to know when we talk about rhythm in a poem, what exactly do we mean? Do you understand what the term rhythm means? Or are we just starting from some strange place? So we need to have the basic knowledge and definition of terms. That's why I'm always defining terms for you guys, so that whenever you have a case to handle, you can know what you're supposed to do. So here we go. Rhythm is the recurrence of a beat in a poem, like the particular repetition of a beat in a poem. So as you all know, when we talk about a beat, it's a particular sound which is being repeated over in a particular piece. So rhythm is a recurrence or repetition of a beat in a poem. It gives that poem a distinct beat. Now when you talk about a distinct beat, means a special beat. That's all we are doing, or that's what we're going to discuss and see. Again, it happens with regularity. What does that one mean? Now, back to here. The repetition and regularity. So means what? That particular sound is regular, not irregular. That particular beat is regular. And just to take you back a bit, you know, those who have done poetry in the introductory parts, we were talking about, or we were talking something like describe the rhyme scheme in this poem, and it's either you can talk of sorry for that. You can either talk of rhyme scheme being regular or irregular. So, in this case here, a poet can use some features to achieve rhythm in a poem. So, guys, let's see the veins or features which a poet can use in order to achieve rhythm in a poem. So, right away, you just see some of those features, and here we go. The first feature that a poet can use to achieve rhythm in a poem, I'm so sure you are aware of it, is a feature or something known as consonants. I'm so sure again you have the idea of what you're talking about. And if you don't have the idea, again, you're still okay because I got you covered. So, what is consonants? Consonants is a repetition of consonant sounds within nearby words in a poem. Consonants is the repetition of similar consonant sounds within nearby words in a poem. And what you need to understand, my good students, is that these particular sounds, they need to be on the same line. Don't pick a particular sound in line 1 and go and pick another sound in line 2, you're going to miss the mark. So kindly ensure, when you're talking about consonants, you pick similar consonant sounds. Are we together? Don't pick a vowel sound and a consonant sound. pick a consonant sound and a consonant sound. And those particular consonant sounds, they must be similar. I hope you're getting the point. So, let's have an example and see, for example, an example is, let me just put this part here, or here. No. Let me use here, so, the wave in the ocean. Now, let's assume that in this particular example that you have here, it's just a simple example, that a poem that I've just come up with, like a stanza that I've just come up with right now. So I want us to check if there is any case of consonants, repetition of similar consonant sounds, either at the middle or at the end in nearby words. Don't forget that. And that these particular sounds, they must be on the same line. That's always a point to remember. So, guys, let's see if there's a case of consonants. I would really do this and I would pick. Good one. The ng sound. That's a consonant sound. Now, when you go on to write down your answers, there's always the requirements. How are you supposed to do it? And always have it in mind that when you are writing this particular answer, you have to pull the whole line, something like beating and pushing, and then say consonants. I don't know if you can see that. Now we have to identify the particular sound. That's a case of consonants because you have pulled the whole line where those particular sounds are, and then you have shown it here with the beating and pushing. So you pull from beating to pushing, and then you identify that here, and that's how you have identified the case of consonants. Yeah, so without wasting time, if you have any question, please come on the comment section and I'll be able to answer you there. Now, the other feature that a poet can use to achieve rhythm in a poem is what we call assonance. That is Roman 2. Assonance is the repetition of similar vowel sounds in nearby words. The repetition of similar vowel sounds in nearby words. And don't miss the point trying to explain a lot, maybe writing things which maybe you're not sure about. Only look for similar vowel sounds. Similar vowel sounds. And then identify that particular sound and then go on to show a case of assonance. Now, In this case here again, let's see what you can do. And just a bit do some adjustments. Yes. So here, as we talk about assonance being the repetition of similar vowel sounds in nearby words, and don't ever forget, those particular words must be on the same line. Let's take an example. Let's say, I'll just give one line in a stanza so that we don't waste a lot of time. Yeah, so a case of assonance, let's talk about now, let's assume this is a line in a stanza in our poem, and you want to discuss a case of assonance. My good students, remember, assonance is the repetition of similar vowel sounds, not letters, sounds in nearby words, and those particular words must be on the same line. So we come back here. The girls fight every day. So, in this case here, we have ga, fa. So, just pick the whole line again and argue that's a case of assonance. As simple as that. Vowel sounds. Vowel sounds. Not, okay, the letters might be similar, but it's all about the sound which is being produced by that particular word. When you're reading that word, how do you pronounce it? It's the sound, not the letter. Good. The other feature that we use to achieve rhythm in a poem is repetition. Repetition can be used to achieve rhythm on the sense that when a particular word or phrase is being repeated in a poem, you must highlight a case of repetition. Now, not every word being repeated. Now, let's check, for example, and assume that we have the definite article the being repeated in a poem. You cannot say there is repetition because the has been repeated. You have to pick on a phrase, maybe a group of words that has been repeated several times, and show your case of repetition. Maybe, let's see, I love thee as I love eyes. I will love thee as I love me. So, in our example here, I love thee as I love us. I will love thee as I love me. So, in this case here, we can argue that love thee has been repeated, or even I love has been repeated. That's a case of repetition because it comes with a particular sound, a similar sound. I love thee, love thee. I love. So it's a particular sound that comes with repetition, and we can't ignore it that it's not a way that a poet can use to achieve rhythm. Good one.